Hi everyone, and welcome to Book Reviews with Gabe, where I'll be giving you my honest feedback and perspective on the best-selling books available today. Today's review will dive into Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, How to Lose Your Mind, Create a New One by the one and only Dr. Joe Dispenza. Dr. Joe Dispenza is a doctor of chiropractic who studied and trained in neuroscience, epigenetics, mind-body medicine, and brain-heart coherence, along with many other areas that have contributed to his impact in the field. Now, in this book, Dr. Dispenza demystifies the connection between science and spirituality. Fun fact, Dr. Dispenza hosts powerful workshops worldwide. When this book was published in 2012, he was doing workshops in about 24 countries, so I'm sure he's doing workshops in way more countries than that now. Now, in this review, I want to dive into what I feel is a core topic of this book. It's evergreen, and if learned in practice, it can transform your life. So let's dive in. Usually in my book reviews, I like to read a passage from the book and dive into it a little bit to highlight the key takeaways. So in this book, we're going to be reading from page 86, and it goes like this. Let's say you have an experience which has an emotional charge, then you have a thought about that particular past event. The thought becomes a memory, which then reflexively reproduces the emotion of the experience. If you keep thinking about the memory repeatedly, the thought, the memory, and the emotion merge as one, and you memorize the emotion. Now, living in the past becomes less of a conscious process and more of a subconscious process. Now, this reading captures one of the core topics of this book, bringing awareness to our addictive behavior our bodies can have, and highlighting that there's a framework that can serve you to move forward or to go backwards. Now, at a high level, Dr. Dispenza explains how we can fall into this unconscious cycle or way of living life. Now, before I keep going, if you haven't practiced a lot of inner work like self-introspection, working with a professional, or journaling, let's say you're beginning your journey and are diving into the emotions you feel and making an effort to understand yourself better, then in that case, this information can be very eye-opening. I remember reading this book for the very first time and having countless aha moments. So let's do a thought experiment before I wrap up this video to try and tie what I just read and everything, all these points, all together. Let's imagine you are going about your day and your partner says or does something that triggers a negative emotion within you. Let's say it was a comment that wasn't necessary and you lose it. And you think, she or he doesn't respect me for who I really am, which might mean they don't love me. You get pissed off, defensive, and say something negative or insecure back, and the argument happens, and both of you create a negative memory together. Now, this happens quite a bit in your relationship and even in previous relationships. There might be many different reasons why their comment generated that reaction from you. But for the sake of this example and one of the core points in the book, let's imagine that someone close to you, like your mother or your father, might have spoken to you in that same manner when you were younger. It made you feel like they didn't accept you for who you were. And that made you feel like they didn't really love you. And you didn't dare tell them how you felt or what you thought about them, but now you can. Whoa, that got deep. I know. Let's zoom out at 10,000 foot view and try to break this all down a bit. In an instant, you have a thought. That thought produces a memory which creates an emotion. And with time and repetition, that memory and emotion become one. Where now you've memorized an emotion and it's become part of your subconscious identity. In other words, you are that way without you even thinking or being aware. So if we were to reference the thought experiment and you were the person that was triggered, anytime someone speaks to you in a way where you feel rejected or judged for being you, then in an instant, again, it's subconscious, you relive those past moments and immediately feel those emotions physically, which then again reinforces your created reality or your truth. This is heavy stuff, I know. You might need to rewatch this video one more time, but when you understand this is a framework that can serve you, it's fantastic. Now, how you can change is what the rest of the book covers. So do I recommend this book? Yes. This book personally helped me understand I'm in control of many things I didn't think were possible, including the impact of choosing my thoughts, emotions, and even meaning, carefully. Get this book. I've got the link in the description below. Also, don't forget to subscribe, as I'll be dropping more reviews shortly.